Now, 5-MeO-DMT is sometimes referred to as the God molecule.
Mm-hmm.
Are we, what you just said, are we now approaching what people mean sometimes when they use that name for it?
I love talking about this subject. And I'll say that the word God was a huge trigger word for me basically my entire life. I've always considered myself an atheist. I don't anymore exactly, but I'll say that up to these experiences, I didn't really understand, what does God even mean? Like, is there some person in the sky who is making decisions and judging us based on whether we act within some certain moral code or any of that? We're not talking about any of that, right? I think when we talk, so the God molecule, first of all, I think it's a really accurate name. It's in relation to the spirit molecule, which is DMT. So NN-DMT, the active ingredient in ayahuasca, is often referred to as the spirit molecule. And when you take DMT or when you drink ayahuasca, I think it's a pretty accurate description to say that you enter into a spirit world. You enter into these layers of consciousness and awareness where there are beings and animals and creatures and, really, a lot of people describe very similar visions when they're doing ayahuasca. 5-MeO feels like it transcends or passes through all of that into this kind of white light unity space. And so I think the word God to me is just talking about the connectivity of all life. When we talk about God, or when we talk about what this is all about, I think it's talking about that sense of unity, that sense of connection. So that's the way I describe it. And I think what I say to people is, like, you're going to experience something. And if you get to that sort of space, that unity space, I don't care what you call it. I don't care if you talk about it as, in scientific terms, we'd be talking about the quantum field, or perhaps something that exists within dark matter that we're still trying to figure out. There's a lot that material science has no idea what's going on. So, but we could be talking about the quantum field. We're talking about God. We could talk about unity or consciousness, or use any word you like. Just interchange it, however makes you feel comfortable. And I think also, as soon as we start talking about that, there's a lot of people that go, why does that matter? I think we have a real disconnection from, what does spirituality even mean? Like, I have a lot of my buddies who, if I ask them, how would you define or talk about spirituality? There wouldn't be a word there. There wouldn't be anything to say. They wouldn't really know how to define that word. But I think, again, if you keep bringing it back to practical terms, to me, spirituality is feeling connected. It's feeling connected to your truest essence, who you are. It's feeling peace with yourself and with your surroundings. It's and you achieve that peace, and you achieve that sense of calm and groundedness within you when you're in alignment with those around you and with your natural environment. When you feel like you feel connected to those around you, and you're acting in accordance with that connection. So to me, it's like, it's all fairly practical, actually. But it's really important that we find some sense of connection, that we find some sense of spirituality, so that we can, I guess, just feel like our life has purpose and has meaning, and that we feel good when we wake up in the morning.
Okay. Before I get to my next question, what you just said, I want to linger there for a second, because I'm totally with you on this connection piece. Mm-hmm. And I'm with you on, that, like, spirituality and God and whatever vocabulary we use is like, a signpost to that experience. Totally fine. You just mentioned purpose and meaning or something. There was the last bit that you said. So there's more than connection.
I suppose I actually find that the word purpose, there's a lot of, I do a lot of mentoring, and I used to do a lot of speaking to young entrepreneurs, and I actually still mentor inside of high schools and stuff like that. One of the questions I get all the time from young people is like, how do you figure out what your purpose is? Yeah. And there's a lot of kind of mystery around this idea of what purpose is. And meaning, but I actually think it's usually fairly simple, that we feel purpose when we are in service to others. What we feel purposeful when what we are doing is generative to ourselves and to those around us. If we're doing something like, I believe, my guess is that you feel a lot of purpose in the work you do because you get to interact with people every day and you get to work on things that are making people's lives better. You are supporting life. And that to me is what purpose is. It just comes in many forms, and there's, just like humans are totally diverse in their interests, purpose is totally diverse in that way. So I think it's born out of connection with one's, like when you get connected to yourself, purpose is right there in front of you. It's not some mystery thing that you need to discover. As soon as you get connected and grounded, it's right there.
Hey, thanks for checking out that clip of the Mindspace podcast. You can get the full episode here on YouTube or check it out on your favorite podcast platform. Thanks, and be well.